So I just listened to a debate between Howie Hawkins and Jill Stein, both of the Green Party, on what's going on in Ukraine. And what Stein's presentation, it was a perfect example of what's happened in the left, including in the socialist left, in the United States and around the world, where they have come under the strong influence of the fascist-connected Putin. What Stein did, she started with didn't start with, but she gave the ritual, quote, opposition to the invasion, saying it was criminal and this and that. And then she spent 75% or more of her speech blaming the U.S. and calling for the conditions that would lead to a victory of that exact invasion. And we have to place that in the context of Stein and her background. In 2016, she went over to Moscow and sat at a sumptuous banquet with Putin and his fascist buddy Michael Flynn. She gave a speech in Moscow in which she gave not one word of criticism for the fascist-connected Putin. She came back to the United States and assigned as her running mate an open supporter of Assad. She had hardly a word of criticism in her campaign against Trump. Rather, she called Trump the, quote, peace candidate, and implied that he was preferable to Hillary Clinton. Not that Clinton is a friend of the working class or anything like that, but to see Trump as preferable, well, it really shows where Stein is at. Now, she calls for, as I said, for the conditions that would lead to the victory of the invasion. When she spoke, she was silent on Putin's war crimes, silent on Putin's many fascist links. In fact, as far as the war crimes, she cast doubt on the war crimes in Bucha, which that is in effect, it's no different from the Holocaust deniers. And she proved her connections with Putin and her Putinization by the two news sources that she said people could rely on, Consortium News and Ben Norton's Geopolitical Economy. This is not the demonization or ad hominem attacks on Jill Stein. It's placing what she says in its proper background, and it's a recognition of what is, that the majority of the left has come under the influence of Putin, as Stein showed. She and the majority of the left has abandoned its number one responsibility, which is international working class solidarity, which means, as Howie pointed out, that means, in this case, first and foremost, solidarity with the Ukrainian working class. Where I disagree with Howie is that this left, including Stein, they have shown that they have traveled too far down the road of coming under the influence of the fascist-connected Putin, and they cannot turn back, and we really have nothing in common with them. And what remains for us is to build a real working-class socialist movement from the ground up.